Today is Monday, March 14th, 2011. This is the start of an interview with Mr. Henry Szyndlar at the RSVP offices of Catholic Services of Macomb, located at 26238 Ryan Road, Warren, Michigan. Mr. Szyndlar is 87 years old. He was born on December 17, 1923. Mr. Szyndlar currently resides at 22610 Karam Court in Warren, Michigan. My name is Dave Brousseau, and I will be the interviewer, and Marilyn Radzitsky will be the videographer. Mr. Szyndlar, would you state for the record the branch of service that you served?
I served in the Army.
May I call you Henry?
Right.
Henry, I'd like to find out, let's go back to when you were born and what your family was composed of, and we could start there.
Well, I had a sister, only one.
What was her name?
Irene.
Irene.
Irene Skirsky, after her marriage name.
And where were you born?
Hamtramck.
Hamtramck. Were your folks born here or in the old country?
In the old country.
When did they come over?
Oh, my dad was about 17 years old when he came home. And my mother was 2 years old. Well, her mother and her parents passed away, so she came over with her aunt.
Were they married when they came over, or?
No way. Well, she was only 2 years old.
Oh, so they just kind of found each other in Hamtramck, huh?
Right. Well, my dad was brought by his sisters. He had a couple sisters here. So they vouched for him, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Where did you go to school?
I went to Our Lady Queen of Apostles in Hamtramck. And then high school, I went to St. Eisenhower.
Were you drafted or did you sign up?
Drafted.
How old were you?
Well, I think it was about 18, I think. I know after I finished high school.
You did finish?
Yeah, I finished high school. And I worked for a year, I think. And then I was drafted.
Tell us, how did you feel about the war? Obviously the war had been going on for a couple of years now when you got drafted. When you were in high school and when you finished, how did you, were you aware of what was going on, or?
Oh yes. I read the papers and they, in a class too, they give you the information from day to day, you know.
Did it scare you to have to get drafted?
No way.
No?
No.
You didn't do anything to try to avoid it?
No, I didn't.
Why didn't you enlist?
What? I just waited for the draft.
Hoping they'd forget you, eh?
Well, not that. But, you know, I should have probably enlisted and joined the Navy, but I wasn't a swimmer, so I was afraid of that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, there's many people in the Navy that never see the water in 4 years, so,
well, I was in the Army, but I spent most of the time aboard ship.
yeah.
PTAs and those flat bottom boats, LST.
So you get, how did you do in high school? Were you,
No, I wasn't an honor student.
no?
No, no way.
Did you think of going to college?
No, I don't think so. My mother always wanted me to go with that, but after I got
Did it ever dawn on you that if you went to college, you could avoid the draft for a while?
No.
No.
I wasn't thinking that.
Okay, so you get your friendly notice in the mail.
Right.
How did your folks feel about that?
Well, there was, from the family, fellas went to service and everything. Everybody else was going, so, you know. And then I had a buddy, years from the grade school to high school. And after I got drafted, he joined to be along with me, you know. So we both spent some time together from Fort Custer, and then took my basic in Oregon, camping there. And he was still with me there. And then I was transferred after the basic, was transferred to Camp Beale around Sacramento.
Uh-huh. Okay,
Yeah,
let's go back to basic first. Now, you get drafted. Where do they send you?
Well, from Fort Custer, we
Fort,
had, we were on a train, you know, all the way down to Oregon.
is that where Fort Custer is?
No, Fort Custer is in the, Battle Creek, I think.
Oh, okay, okay. Now, what was basic like?
Well, it wasn't bad. Oregon was a nice place to have, you know, a lot of pine trees and,
Yeah.
but they do get a lot of rain. But it wasn't bad at all. It was situated right between two universities, so that was great.
Well, this would have been in the summertime when you got drafted, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How long was your basic? You remember?
Maybe, it wasn't very long.
No?
I'd say a year, maybe. I might be wrong on that.
Yeah. Did you like all of the discipline and,
Well, you know, when you get in, you kind of, you believe in listening and obeying orders. So that's the main thing in the Army, you know, you have to obey.
did you get any basic training to get you ready for something?
Oh yes, we took, you know, we always had problems, you know, and field problems, and night problems.
Were there certain skills that they taught you that you particularly liked?
No, not really. We just went by the numbers.
You were gonna end up in the infantry, so
Right,
you did a lot of marching and
oh yes,
handling of small arms.
right, all kind of arms, small arms, machine guns, and pistols, and firing range.
How did you do on that?
Oh, did all right.
Had you used a gun before this?
No,
No.
no way. Never, I don't even have at the home.
Was there any particular people, officers or drill sergeants that you recall that are worthy of comment?
Worthy of what?
Were there any people that you met while you were there at
Yeah.
basic that were unusual or different?
No, they're all, well, you know, sergeants and officers, they have to have a little bit, you know, who I am, you know, they have to make sure that everybody listens.
Yeah. Always seems to be some drill sergeant that
Oh, yeah.
stands out in your mind.
Especially when we're leaving Fort Custer, you know, they're kind of strict there, you know, and loud, and well, you got to kind of shake it there. But
Where did you get assigned to after Fort Custer?
I was camping there, Oregon.
And that was Camp what?
Camping there,
And that was in Oregon?
yes.
Okay, what was the specialty there? Was there some reason you went there?
Well, I was sent there.
I know,
Nothing
but
to say.
was there a specific assignment there that you needed to,
No,
no?
no.
How long were you there?
Well, let's say, about a year maybe.
A year.
Yeah, then I was transferred to 81st Infantry. And then the outfit in Oregon was the 70th. So,
Where did you go from there? Was there anything at the camp in Oregon that you learned?
well, you learned all the, Army stuff.
Some more of the same?
Same, yeah.
Then where did they ship you?
Well, I went to join the 81st in Camp Beale, around Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Around Sacramento, yeah.
How long were you there?
Well, from there we got transferred to San Luis Obispo for a while, in the huts. And there were 6 in a hut, and there was this pot belly stove in the middle, and didn't stay there very long.
No?
No, and then from there we went to, took the board ship in California and went down to Hawaii. We stayed in Hawaii for about a month, and right in the pineapple fields.
Now, you remember when this would be in Hawaii?
What year?
Must have been in 44?
44 probably.
44? What was the, were you near Pearl Harbor?
Oh yeah, not too far.
What did that look like?
Oh, devastating.
Still devastated,
Yeah,
huh?
right. But Hawaii was a nice place to be.
Yeah.
You get spoiled.
It didn't bother you that was closer to the enemy, though?
No, not really.
Was there a threat they may return?
The what?
That they might return?
No.
No?
No. And they, when we landed in Hawaii, they put us in one of those pineapple not carts, but what do you call it, trains, Everybody was standing up, there was no seats or nothing, and took us up to our camp in northern, a little further.
Mm-hmm.
It was the other, way past Schofield Barracks.
Mm-hmm. What activities did you have there?
Not very much.
You couldn't determine whether there was a purpose for you being there, for
No,
learning something, or
no, not really.
just
You
stick
do-
'em
you-
somewhere.
You're right, and you do what they say,
mm-hmm,
so you have no choice.
yeah. Could you tell whether there was a significant shift in the progress of the war at that time?
Well, we all knew, that we had to go, and whatever happened, it happened.
Yeah. Where did you go from Hawaii then? You said you went where?
We went board ship, and then we went to Philippines for a while. Not very long. Leyte.
Leyte in southern Philippines?
Yes.
Yeah. What was your activity there?
Well, we ran problems and field problems and night problems and stood guard. And,
You went out on assignments?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
giving assignments.
Luzon, was that part of the same activity in Luzon?
Well, we didn't spend too much time in Luzon.
No.
It was mostly in Leyte. And
Peleliu?
Peleliu was another island,
Yeah.
so we had to go aboard ship again. So it seems like any place we went, We only stayed not too long,
Yeah,
and they ship you. They don't tell you where you're going.
yeah. Don't tell you why you went there, they don't tell you where you're going.
Right. You just obey orders, what they say,
Yeah.
and take you. You don't have no choice.
So how long did this island hopping occur?
Island what?
Hopping?
Hopping on. Well, it wasn't too bad, but it seems like when you go, they send you someplace, you're gonna stay for a while.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem that way.
Were you able to keep up on the progress of the war at that time?
Oh yes, we knew what was going on. Yeah, paper always from,
What'd they call that?
well, scroll,
The what?
scroll,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, those scroll papers.
I remember somebody told me American something was kind of a newsletter that floated around.
Yeah, newsletter.
Was it,
But each company has its own. They-
was it fairly accurate?
Oh yes,
I probably just told you what they wanted you to know and not what they didn't want you to know, I
Right.
suppose.
and then they gave you information, and they wrote the scores, baseball scores, what's going on in sports and everything else, and
Probably a lot of it devoted to what's going on back home.
right too. Uh-huh.
Were you able to correspond with your folks much?
Oh yes, you got, you got time to write in a PX, or what do you call it? Where they gather, I forget the name of it.
Did your mom send you those care packages?
Oh yeah, my sister did too.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of mail, Sometimes, they send me some sports, paper and that accumulates, you don't know what to do with all that.
Yeah. How long did it take a letter to get from where you were to home?
Oh, I don't know,
Couple weeks?
maybe.
Yeah,
Because we were aboard ship, so we could,
yeah.
and,
It's amazing how they can keep track of you for,
oh yeah, right.
but it seems the mail was always trying to catch up
Right.
with people and,
And once you're aboard ship, you always have to pull the blinds, all the way around the ship and not to show any light. And,
yeah.
and we slept underneath the gun turrets, on board, on the deck.
Mhm.
Sometimes the ships are rocked and you go down in your bunk.
Were you ever threatened by the enemy? Aboard ship?
No,
Never
no,
threatened by subs or,
no. Maybe I know there were some.
was there a big group of ships or were there just a few?
Well, you always had escorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never traveled alone.
How did you feel about your closeness with the enemy? Is there ever a time you felt particularly scared?
Well, not really there. In Peru, they're all in the caves. The Japanese were all in the caves. And we had flamethrowers.
Yeah,
So we used it quite a bit, you just follow the flamethrower tank.
yeah,
And then if they do come out, we lost quite a few guys. We had lost the first sergeant, and he was telling us not to get close to that. And he himself went close to the cave and he got killed.
mm,
And man,
so you would send the tanks in first to try to soften it so that you could come up after.
right. But they were, they had they were dug in
Yeah,
way inside.
yeah,
And
yeah.
no matter those flamethrowers, they won't get all the way in, but
Tough to fight that kind of an enemy.
right, and especially the terrain was
Yeah.
bad, you know. And,
Dug into those caves like
right.
sardines.
Right, sardines, right.
Um,
And even after the war, you know, there's
it-
a lot of them that stayed still in there because they thought they were,
Years after the
Right,
war,
right.
they found some of these people who didn't know.
didn't know that the war was over.
And they were much more willing to die for their cause than you
Oh, yeah.
were.
Yes, yes.
That seems like kind of a disadvantage.
Right.
Never want to get into a fight with someone who wants to die.
Yeah.
So it was a little more scary when you were doing that than when you were hopping from one part of the Philippines to the other.
Right. And we lost a lot of men, you know.
Mhm.
And we had cemeteries there and that, they're all buried. And worst part of it had happened on Peleliu, I think it was, where we were going to go and bunk up for the night, you know. So you had to dig your foxhole and everything else. And then our outfit, our squad, and the one thing that I remember real well is that's when I got shrapnel in my arm from a mortar fire. And then for the night, there was a little knoll, like, you know, not a hill, but a knoll, big knoll. And a lot of fellas from our squad, they went up there. They said, oh, they're gonna be safer when they get up on a knoll. And come morning, either our mortar was short or the Japanese mortar hit them right there.
Mm.
And we got up in the morning with it, and they were all soldiers were laid out. And that was bad because most of our squad was gone. And my sergeant and that, they told me, you come with me, you stay down here. So I'm still here.
Did you lose any close friends?
Well, I didn't know. Well, I lost a friend on the block, that lived on the block. He got killed in Germany, though.
Oh, I see.
And his dad was in the outfit too, and it's kind of bad because it seems like when I got my furlough, he was at home the same time. So we, you know, a picture taken together and that,
Great.
and come to know that he got killed.
Did you ever have time where you could get away and take some time off?
No,
R&R, where they let you go back home, or?
from where? From while you're
In the Pacific?
no,
No?
no, never inquired about that.
No?
No.
There were periods, though, when you were taken away from the front lines and allowed to be in the background for a while.
Not very often.
No? So what happened to you after that? While you were in the Philippines? When were you relieved of that duty?
Well, time that was when we were aboard, you know, got aboard ship again, and from there, we were, you know, we hopped in two different islands, and sometimes tide or something like that, you know, comes up, and they ship you, and you can go. We have the tanks that were on the water and land, see? And sometimes they give you, they pick the squad or you know, and you have to go on an island and stay on the island. Then we used to, many times we used to throw grenades in the water, get the fish out, you know. And it wasn't bad, but we still had, we lost quite a few guys that they were wandering around instead of staying with the company, you know, or that they wandered up the hill or something like that, and they never came back.
Did you ever have any interaction with some of the local people?
Well, Philippines, you know, there's a lot of, they were nice people. And, but otherwise, we didn't get too much time, you know. And the only time is they gave us is when we were aboard ship and we went to New Caledonia for a rest period. It was a nice place to get away a little bit, you know.
How long were you able to stay there?
About a couple weeks or maybe 2
Uh-huh.
weeks. And what the bad thing about it was kind of interesting, you know, and different. Because we've seen in New Caledonia a nice church, Catholic church, on top like hill. And then when they come closer to the shoreline with the ship and everything, you know, this the big, you know, line of men over there. What the heck's going on there, you know? And they were just,
Is that a medical ship?
no,
No?
no. And they were, you know, they had Japanese, I mean, not Japanese, but it was like, what would you call it? I hate to say it. And same thing in Hawaii too. These soldiers were lined up. You know what I mean.
Oh, a brothel. Yeah, okay, okay. Why would that come to my mind?
Yeah, right. You must have had some experience.
No. No.
No.
Were you there when the war ended?
No, I went to Japan. I spent some time in Japan. Yeah, we landed in Japan. And when we landed, there were no people. Everybody was gone. They hid. They went stayed at home. They never came out.
Well,
We were
they
marching
heard
in-
stories about the bad things we were gonna do to them,
Right.
because that's what they would do.
Right. Oh, yeah. That's what they did to
Yes.
Wainwright and
Yes.
everything else.
Yes.
The marches and that. But then we didn't stay in Japan too long. And I spent in Japan, Hokkaido. That's where the northern part, where it didn't hit now, that's what the trouble they have done now.
Mhm.
Earthquake or nothing, but
Oh, yeah?
it didn't get that.
You were in the Philippines at the time that the war in Europe was over, right?
Right, yeah.
And you heard about that. What did you think about that?
Well, it's great.
Yeah? Did you presume at that point that the war was slowly coming to an end in the Pacific?
Yes.
Mhm.
We spent in the Philippines that we had a nice theater, outside theater, and we used to get a lot of entertainment, you know,
Uh-huh.
Bob Hope. And
Oh, really?
all that, yeah.
Did you get a chance to see him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then there was even in Hawaii, when we were in Hawaii, they give you nice shows, you know, and else. And it seems like the girls, hula dances and everything, the mother was always with them, you know. They let their daughter get away.
That's interesting. I've never seen that on newsreels,
Yeah,
but
no,
that's interesting.
right.
How close did you get to the Bob Hope troop?
Well, we had, instead of chairs and that, we had logs. They made logs and then they're like a chair, it's,
You never got a chance to go up there and dance with one of the ladies?
no.
No?
One actress, Maxwell, her last name was.
Marilyn Maxwell,
Marilyn
yeah.
Maxwell. Yeah. And Coloma.
Oh, yeah, what's his name? Louis?
Louis Coloma.
Jerry, I think.
Is it?
Jerry.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jerry,
you're right, Jerry Corona.
Yeah.
You're dating yourself.
She's falling asleep.
Yeah. So how long were you in Japan after the war?
Not very long.
Were you there for the signing of on the Missouri?
No.
No?
Well, we landed in Yokohama, I think.
Uh-huh.
Didn't get a chance to travel in Japan very much.
No.
No. Then they go to Tokyo and like that. And then,
Did you ever get close to Hiroshima or Nagasaki?
no,
No.
not really.
Imagine that would have been off limits just because it was so recent.
Right. So like I say, you couldn't get away. You just did what they tell you and took you where they wanted to take us. See?
So where did they ship you when you left Japan?
Fort Sheridan,
Where's that?
Chicago.
Chicago? Were
We
you,
landed in San Pedro, California. And first day I did it, we landed, it was at night, First day they took us to a big mess hall, and they found, with the Germans were the service. And so then we went to, camp there, I don't know what camp it was, and they, separated us.
how was your trip home aboard ship?
Well, it was good. It was,
About a week?
a little more than that, I think.
Yeah. So the ocean didn't bother you?
Oh, yes, it did.
Yeah?
It was bad. The weather was bad, especially those LSD boats.
Flat bottoms?
Yeah, bad bottom. I don't see how those Navy guys can eat. Every time you go to the mess hall, you eat and you go sway from side to side, You just can't stand it, so you go down in your bunk and you didn't eat.
It's hard to imagine those flat bottoms rocking any more than those tin cans. I used to swear those things would rock on a sheet of glass.
Yeah.
To me, in life, has never been as difficult when you're seasick. If I had a chance, I wouldn't refuse being killed. It's the worst, for me at least. It always took me a week to get my sea legs. I hated that. I understand what you went through, and I could certainly identify with it. The only consolation, for me at least, was that not everybody was sick. When you came over and went, probably most of them were seasick.
Yeah, yeah. We had, well, in our house, we had, quite a few older men, that they took, no matter, and we lost quite a few of those guys, I was just one of the lucky ones, still here.
Was there any fear of attack while you were coming home?
No, not really.
No?
No.
Because there's probably some Japanese shipping that didn't know the war was over maybe, or
Oh, yeah.
didn't want it to be over, or,
But, you know, they're pretty good. And we had escorts, you know, not, you couldn't see them, but they were there.
what was it like to be in a country that you had just defeated? Wasn't there concerns that there'd be some reprisals of the people?
No, not really. I don't think, nobody thought about that.
No?
And one thing about,
Least of all you, huh?
and in Japan, you know, when we were there, they had these wagons, you know, and the waste, you know, people's waste and everything, they were taken off in the rice field. And boy, the odor, bad. That was the way, you know.
Mhm. So when you came back to California, then they sent you to Chicago?
Yes.
Was that to be the point at which you would be finished?
You're right. Didn't spend too much time at Fort Sheridan. Now you got your papers all ready and everything.
So what do they do? They give you some muster out pay, or do they give you a train ticket?
Well, they gave you a train, they put you on a train. And then when I did get to Detroit, Michigan Central, well, I got a cab, and the cab went as far as Hamtramck, Detroit cab, and it wouldn't go any further. You know, so it was a Dodge plant, that's as far as they took me, you know. There was nobody else with me, you know, I was alone. So then I got the fella in the guard shed at Dodge, Maine. Took me inside, they waited, and they called the Hamtramck cab, and they took me home.
Oh, why would he not go any further?
That was the, I
Oh.
couldn't go any further.
I'll be darned.
So it was good to get home, you know, and,
Were you both folks still living yet?
oh yes.
So I imagine they were happy to see you home safe.
Well, I got home kind of late, you know, so, but they're surprised too.
Oh, they didn't know you were coming home yet?
No.
But they knew you were in the States.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you get home, now what happens?
Well, they had that 52 club, you know. You get only that much money from the service, you know, for a year, I think. So I collected that. But instead of going, because I worked for General Motors, you know, before I went into the service. And I never, you know, went back. It could have gave me a job and stayed, you know, retired from it probably. So I lost out on that. But I said, well, I'll just take it easy and stayed home. I could have gone into college too,
Yeah.
college was a big one. But I wasn't that bright enough. I knew
Were you able to connect with some of your old friends that you left?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was a few that were gone, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, most of the fellas.
So when you eventually got back into the labor force, where did you go to look for a job?
Well, there's different places. I worked tool factory in Detroit. Then I went to work for Bar Roller Bearing Federal Loan Corporation. I stayed there most of the time. But I had 27 and a half years and they moved down south
Mhm.
to Alabama. Then from there, well, the jobs were, you know, kind of hard to get back to, but then I went to work for a school system, Birmingham,
Doing what?
custodial work.
Mhm. What did you do at Federal Mogul?
I operated machines.
I imagine after the war, a lot of that business went away.
Oh, yes, but we made bearings, you know, so, yeah.
Actually, the car industry must have gone back up as the
Oh, yeah.
war came down.
Right,
Mhm.
and it was a good place to work 6, 7 days a week, you know, so,
When did you start a family?
oh, family, well, I stayed single for, I didn't get married till I was about 29,
Mhm.
and I married a girl, met her at a dance, we like to dance. We met her at a dancing place, and she was from up north, Posen. You ever hear of Posen, Michigan?
Mhm.
Potato capital. And so we got married, and she was already 6 months older than I am, 30. And we're married already 57 years, and she's going to be 88 in May,
Wow.
and I'm 87.
How big a family did you have?
I had 4 children, 2 girls first, and then we had two boys. And my oldest daughter is a RN, and my second daughter, she's 2 years younger than the oldest one, and she works for Maya Corporation, a corporate office in Grand Rapids. Then I have 2 sons. One son is a radiology technician, works at St. John's Hospital on Hoover and 12 Mile. And my other son, he's a salesman. Works for Fowler Corporation from Boston, and he's got Michigan and a part of Ohio.
Mhm. How many grandchildren do you have?
We had 6 grandchildren, one great grandchild.
One great. Hmm?
Yeah, just born about 8 months ago.
You get to see them quite a bit?
Well, oh yeah, 2 boys live pretty close to us. My oldest daughter lives in Auburn Hills, and the other one in Grand Rapids. And my 2 boys live close by us,
Mhm.
about 5 minutes away from us.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I don't get, well, you see the children that were here in President State, but my grandson, the oldest grandson, he finished state, and then he couldn't get a job here, you know. So he went to Arizona and got a job there. And then he met a teacher there.
Mhm.
They got married. Now they have that little baby
Mhm.
and bought a new home and everything else, and they're doing good. Yeah, the youngest son's got 2, he got a boy and a girl, and the other son, the oldest son, has a boy 7 years old, and the girl's 13, I think.
Mhm.
But he married a girl from she had that girl here. She was married before, but divorced.
Mhm.
She married an Italian fella from, then they got married in Italy, I think. Then she had a hard time getting away from her. But she finally made it with the little baby and she
Mhm.
had. That's it.
Did you say you brought some stuff with you?
Oh yeah, I bought the book is really interesting. It's the 81st century infantry division. You see the old, this is old stuff. Well, I've enjoyed the outfit. They were on maneuvers in Tennessee, and I didn't join them until, when I was joining them in Camp Beale.
Now, who puts this together?
This book, well, came from Washington, I think.
Yeah,
Gives you pictures of our general, and outfits. I was with the 321st Infantry Division and Company G.
and have you had the chance to talk about this with your kids? Do they know
Oh yes,
this is something you've shared with them?
Yeah.
And
Then I misplaced my medals that I had. I brought the medals here too. And,
You said
and
you
I
were-
sent them to Washington, and
Uh-huh.
they sent me the medals.
you said you were hit by shrapnel. How come you didn't get the Purple Heart?
I did.
Oh, you did? I didn't notice it on your sheet.
Well, I'll show you the
Okay.
discharge papers. But this is my stuff, old stuff.
See if there's some pictures here that are,
I'll read that.
now, is this your 81st Infantry Division history book? Is that what they call this?
Yes.
He paid $5 for this. Now this is,
Here's my original discharge paper. And I have,
is this some kind of a local organ that you produced?
right.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling you about. There's one sheet that's all there was.
Okay.
You see it?
Yep.
Okay.
And I have.
This looks like pictures in Japan after the war then.
No, we used to get that in the Philippines.
Oh, this is Philippine.
Yeah, we called the Wildcat Division.
I'll be darned. This was November 1945.
Oh, November 45.
So this had to be at,
Yeah.
end of the war.
In Japan, yeah. Oh, yeah, it was.
yeah.
Because we were in Japan, the war was over,
Yeah, this says Amori, Japan.
Uh-huh.
So this,
Yeah, that was a little,
the
town.
321st,
321st Infantry, yeah.
it's got a little sign here. Through these portals pass the best damn soldiers in the world.
Yeah.
I'll be darned. You've got pieces of,
Oh, I have a
Uh-huh.
Japanese rifle that I sent home. I think that's what it is, ain't it?
well, this was, when you have occupation, I guess, they give you some stuff that will help you with the language.
Yeah.
And it says here, phrases to be learned and carried by every serviceman. And the English translation of these key words, surrender, halt, hands up, move along, hurry up, stand up, turn around, come out. We will not shoot you. Throw down your weapons and take off your clothes. I have to remember that one. It's called Kimono o Nuki.
It's pretty hard to work.
Well, that's the English pronunciation of it.
Yeah.
And then it's got a little sign about it, says, these are very important. Well, that's,
I have an extra copy of the discharge paper.
was this the passing of the Equator?
Oh, yeah, we did
Yeah.
it about 3 times.
This is to certify that he did pass latitude 0, longitude 164. Huh. Yeah, I've heard that. I've never had that opportunity. Too busy trying to stay alive, so worry about it. Oh, here's another one of these. Don't do it. Sit down, stand up slowly. Don't be afraid. Stop, drop your weapons. That's interesting. I've never seen that,
We should make a copy of that.
but sure. And then this must be another
Yeah, right.
Oregon Wildcat. This was, same place. Where did I do it the other one?
Yeah, right there.
I don't know if the dates are similar. November 45,
Same thing.
yeah. This is Sunday, November 18th. This was Thursday, November 22nd. Eisenhower becomes the nation's new chief of staff. Now, you got into, well, this is part of being in the European. They approved having your wives come to Europe and join their husbands.
Well,
They apparently didn't give you that chance
no,
in the Pacific.
no.
And this is 45, so this is less than 6 months since the end of the European tussle. You know, what's interesting is look back on these things and see if you can find names of people you might be able to identify with. Okay. This is the official proclamation that Henry is no longer a
Okay,
member of the Army,
all
Armed
right,
Service.
good.
In the back of it.
Oh. Oh. Let's see, you'd have been 22 when you got out?
Probably.
Victory Medal, Asiatic Pacific Medal, Bronze, Battle Star, 3 overseas service spot, good, oh, and then the Purple Heart, wounded in action in Peleliu. Have you ever had anything,
Reaction from the,
no? Where were you hit?
right there.
Was it a mortar or was it a grenade?
Mortar. Fire.
Mortar?
Shrapnel.
What did it feel like?
Just marching along, you know, and look, somebody like a 50-pound bag hit me, you know. And,
How close was it,
well, right,
the explosion?
oh, must, I don't know, what it really, it must have been not too far.
Yeah. What did it feel like?
Well, didn't hurt too much.
No?
No.
But you could feel it.
Oh, yes. It knocked me over,
Oh, is that right?
yeah.
Did it get embedded or was it,
It was embedded, but then I went to the field hospital and I spent some time there. I didn't spend there too long. I didn't go to no, other hospitals or anything like that.
oh, tough guy, huh?
No, I just didn't get hit, think I must have got it out. Because, it shows over here too on that with diagram where we spend time, I think. Camps in that.
Now, what is this map of? Is this, where you were sent while you were here in the States?
Well, I can see.
Or is it just that organization?
It's Campbell.
Yeah?
That's where I joined the outfit, see? And that's all the places where we went to.
Can you see that?
Mm-hmm, yeah, I
Okay.
got it.
And,
There's a lot of pictures in there.
yeah, this was
Caves.
the,
Caves and everything.
this was the way you went from San Francisco to Hawaii. And I can see you did a lot of island hopping,
Right,
Guadalcanal,
yeah.
Palau,
Oh,
New Guinea,
New Guinea. Well, we were
Luzon, Leyte, and out by the Fiji, New Hebrides, and Caledonia.
That's where the rest period was.
Yeah, yeah, that seems to be out away from the rest. And then you went back to the Philippine Islands, and then on to what you said, Honshu? Is that how you say it?
Hokkaido.
Honshu, Honshu? Is that it?
That was in there, but.
Oh, I
the
see.
place where we stayed. And the Mori was the place, it was the airfield, Japanese airfield, and we had,
Oh, okay,
Barracks
Maury,
over.
that's how you say that word, yeah.
Maury.
That's where those newspaper articles
Right.
came from. Wow, amazing. This must have been something you pulled out of one of the local papers, eh?
Probably.
Doesn't have a date on it. Is this something your mom sent you?
This was probably, I don't recall.
I'm gonna hold these and get some copies of some of
Okay,
this,
all right.
and Ann will copy the book. Anything else you'd like to tell us? Anything else you have to show us?
Well, I put a copy of the discharge paper. No, no. I got a letter from when they send me the medals here, got all the medals.
Oh,
Bronze Star and the Purple Heart.
Okay.
You wanna see it?
sure. Oh, this is your... Oh, I see. Got this little... Oh, God. We should have these put into a, this is the efficiency medal. And this is, I don't know. Oh, the Asiatic Pacific medal. A lot of this is a function of just being there, isn't it? For 90 days or something like that. Occupancy. And this one is the Victory Medal. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Better than the other side of it. What are these? Honorable Service, is that what that's called? And this is his award for crack shot. You know what that is?
No, not it. The one was sweet instead of that, you just put it on your
Yeah.
pal, you know.
Ooh, this must be the Purple Heart.
Oh, wait,
Oh, there it is.
there it is.
That's neat. I guess it hardly compensates for the injury, but nice to be recognized. Or is this the Purple Heart?
That's the Purple Heart.
What was this?
That's the bronze medal.
Oh, okay, that was the bronze. This is the Purple Heart.
Okay,
Well, that's neat. That's neat. Well,
Was there something specific that you got the Bronze Star for?
Well, I really don't know, you know. Those times I was nominated, you know, and everything else. And I didn't even know that I did receive it, you know, until, well, it's on the discharge papers and everything, you know, but I really don't know.
well, you know, there's been many occasions where people like yourself have been awarded something years later
Yeah.
where they lost track and somebody found it and brought it up, and
Right.
we had a fella in here a month or two ago that 90-some years old, and he just got medals for something he should have gotten and never did.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
You know, I mean, things weren't as well organized as one would like to see them all the time, but
And if I wouldn't be,
I
you know,
certainly
if
wouldn't,
it was, you know, they wouldn't send me, you know.
I certainly wouldn't send it back.
Right.
Conduct. That's, as much as probably everybody gets good conduct, we've had the opportunities to visit with, I can tell you I did for at least once or twice, of some who did not get the good conduct medal.
Oh, yes,
And that's kind of an automatic.
right.
And admittedly, they were holy terrorists.
Uh-huh.
Somebody should put these in a,
I know this
a little frame,
service, yeah,
you know, that would be nice,
nice, yeah.
with a glass cover on it, you know?
But there's some, you know, they put the metals, you know.
We should put a note
Yeah.
in this stuff when we give it back to you to one of your sons to take care of this job.
I'll put that in there. Oh, you want-
I'm gonna make
you
some
wanna
copies
yeah,
of that
perfect.
if you don't
All right.
mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there anything else we can share?
No, that's all I have. Very good.
Okay, any questions,
Some pictures here that,
Ann?
what they used to have. What's the,
I don't have anything.
Marilyn?
He's got a couple of pictures he wants to show you there.
some caves, the way, you know, it's amazing. That's what you have to go through. You know?
These are caves that are empty now, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look at one with somebody poking their rifle out of it. Actually, this was active at the time these pictures were taken, the way it reads.
Yeah. Well, you know, those islands, they were in there and you go on
You
patrol.
know,
you
such
go on
a
patrol.
useless loss of life is incredible. I just, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Talk about desolate. I don't know if you can pick that up, but
Yeah.
yeah, if you could hold that up,
Okay.
my goodness. This is incredible.
Okay.
Now, this,
Well, we made,
is this, do you know where this is, Hallelujah, or?
probably, well, Palalu's
No.
the biggest island, see?
Oh, Angar, Angaur, where the heck is that?
That's right there. And,
Where's that?
another,
In
island.
those islands? I mean, this looks like a volcano,
Yeah, right.
you know? And somehow some living,
Well, did you ever go to,
whatever grew up in it, and must have been years ago when that happened.
did you ever go to Detroit and see some of those places, Shane Street, did you ever go and see?
Well, yeah,
It's about the same.
yeah, they don't have the broken up lava, but it's,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm with you. This, to think to have to walk through all of that, at the same time trying to keep yourself alive is amazing.
and they used to hide in the trees, you know, that,
Oh,
and the
boy.
snipers, and you go on patrol and they're risking your life, you know.
When we decide to go
Can't
to
see
war, we really pick the places, I tell you.
And there's many fellas that we lost that took
Excuse me.
took off by themselves, you know, trying to just be nosy, I guess.
This is New Caledonia,
Fell in a cage, you never did find them.
and must have been around the time that he was still, when you went on your R&R, if you want to call it that. This is just a short distance from where all of the, did you ever confront any Japanese where you had to defend yourself?
No, not really.
I would think the nice side of any of this, if there is one, is if you have to kill somebody, it'd be nice to just not know who you're killing.
That's right.
Just shoot in the air, and if happen to kill somebody, okay, I haven't seen them, so I'm not sure I would like to be
I don't know.
killing somebody that
You've probably seen the fellas killed in there.
yeah,
They're laying there and that, and
Yeah.
and maggots and all over them and everything else. It's a terrible, you know.
well, while I was we weren't formally in a war.
Oh,
It was police action,
oh, boy,
but almost every time I went out, we lost
Right.
some whiteheads.
Yeah.
And I thought, gee, if it's bad now and we're in peacetime relative, what's it like if we were at wartime?
Wartime, right.
I mean, we had the Joe Kennedy ship blow up, and we had, invariably somebody would visit the hereafter. Oh, here's even a picture on USO troop, it looks like, oh my goodness. What on earth for beach? This is what do you call it? Roadshow USO kind of stuff. And this is home of the one of the shows going on down here. And here, I don't recognize these young ladies. 5. Oh, Gracie Fields. Was she a movie star?
Yeah, well,
Gracie Fields? Well, anyhow, she's here. And I don't know if you can make this out, but this is really funny. These are 5 men dressed in their shorts, I guess is a good word. It's supposed to be security.
No.
I don't know. It's funny. You see somebody walking around the beach with briefs like that, and today that. Anyhow, interesting. Some of these pictures look similar to the ones that we saw in the magazine or the newsletter you showed us. This must have been in Japan. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate all your effort. Thank you for coming down. Thank you for sharing. I'll make some copies of this and give it back to you. In a few minutes, you'll
okay.
have your little DVD you can take home and show all your kids and grandkids. And
Okay. Thank you. I was kind of undecided, you know, I didn't know what it would be like.
what do you think?
Well, that's great, you know,
You're not disappointed?
no.
Good.
No,
Enjoyed having you.
all right.
Thank you for agreeing to do it.
Thank
Some
you.
of this can be painful at times, so
Yeah, you hate to think about it. You know.
yeah.